Alright, so the Black Ops 4 beta is over, therefore me getting gameplay for it is kind of a no-go. So if you're seeing something here you've already seen, I do apologize. But I want to talk about something that no one has talked about yet. Well, I guess some people might have, I don't know, I don't watch as much YouTube as I used to, mostly to maintain uninfluenced by other people's opinions and style. When it came to Call of Duty World War II, a big complaint I had was that new is gone. And that I was worried that Call of Duty was going to go down a path of making overly simple, cookie-cutter Call of Duty games that are all boots on ground and, you know, back down to the game's roots. I thought we were going to have a World War II game, and then a Vietnam game, and then a modern-day Call of Duty, and maybe another modern-day Call of Duty, maybe a World War I Call of Duty. You know, I was thinking about this, and as much as I would love a modern-day or Vietnam-era Call of Duty game, I was kind of worried that Call of Duty was going to kind of go lowest common denominator wise and just be more simple than it needs to be. In response to all of the backlash to my Modern Warfare 2 video, I actually have recorded a whole video about why Modern Warfare 2 is awesome and why those matches of Modern Warfare 2, even when played today, are exciting and interesting and full of variety. So I'm doing a video on that, or I'm going to be uploading it soon. It's already done. The point I made in that video is that Call of Duty is already kind of a simple run-and-gun twitch shooter, and when you limit down maps and customization, and you take it to like an era in time that didn't have a lot of things going for it, such as, you know, games in World War I or II, like, you make the game more simple than it needs to be. And one of the reasons I really like Call of Duty Ghosts is that although it has some things I would love to change, stuff like the class making system and the soldier system, sliding for the first time, contextual, lean, and interactable environments that are prevalent on every map, I thought that stuff was kind of cool. Even if it was as simple as opening and closing a door, dropping a gate, or knocking over a gas station, or blowing a hole in a wall, sometimes it did shift the way an engagement would work, and that was interesting. Call of Duty doesn't need to reinvent itself, but Call of Duty needs to maintain being interesting. Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, and Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3 are all so drastically different from each other, and it really made those years of Call of Duty very interesting. Although it has its own place in my heart, Infinite Warfare was very similar to Black Ops 3 in a lot of ways. Modern Warfare Remastered was a remaster of a game we had already played, and Call of Duty World War II is pretty much the raw cocaine of what Call of Duty is with some weird frills on top of it. So as I was thinking about it, if I see Call of Duty World War II as a de-evolution of Call of Duty, and a return to a form that isn't necessary, well then Black Ops 4 should earn some praise for me for being really weird. I feel about Black Ops 4 the way I feel about Last Jedi. Is it a perfect movie? Is it a movie I would tell everyone to watch and that I think is amazing? And no, there's like at least 10 giant things I would change about Last Jedi in order for me to consider it one of my favorite movies. But the reason I like The Last Jedi is that it was weird and it was different in a lot of ways. It did some unorthodox things that didn't make me feel like I was being pandered to, and that was cool. I liked that it was just weird and kind of unorthodox and strangely paced, and I don't know, it was a surprising Star Wars because of that, and it was a fucking long movie too. That last part isn't as relevant, but that movie really kept me involved in the story. Even when I disagreed with some of the things in it, I was at least surprised, and that's how I feel about Black Ops 4. It's not something I think is perfect. I would change a lot of things about Black Ops 4 from playing that beta, but at least it's new, and it is different. It's not trying to be Modern Warfare 2, it's not trying to be Black Ops 2, it's not trying to be really any other Call of Duty. You could say it's copying off the homework of some other shooters, and I would agree with you, but the props I'm going to give Black Ops 4, the more I think about that beta, is that it's weird. It is a weird mashup of various ideas and philosophies, and I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying it doesn't need work, it doesn't need to be fixed. I'm saying that my fear of Call of Duty becoming a simple, anyone can pick up and play, it's all just about rooty tooty, pointy and shooty, those fears are kind of extinguished by the existence of Black Ops 4, even if I end up hating Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is taking some risks, and it's doing things a lot of Call of Duty players don't like. A lot of your old school COD fans aren't into this, and a lot of the new ones are confused by it, and I think that's kind of cool. I'm not trying to sound like some counterintuitive hipster. What I'm saying is that Call of Duty becoming mundane or too different will ruin it. Those are overcorrections, and Black Ops 4, from what I played in that beta, does feel like it is a bit of an overcorrection towards the crazy side. But at least it's trying to be a little crazy. So I'm not throwing it a bone for being something I don't like. What I'm saying is the fact that it's willing to put me out of my comfort zone and make me go, hey, what the hell is that, is kind of cool. That the franchise, after this many releases, after this many annual releases for this many years, is actually trying to do something stupid and weird. Stupid and weird isn't necessarily a good or bad thing. It all depends on how it plays out after launch. Don't think that I'm flip-flopping. Black Ops 4 needs a lot of love. There's a really good game tucked under a bunch of bullshit with Black Ops 4, and I really hope that Treyarch pulls their head out of their ass and fixes a lot of the issues I have with the game. But that does not mean it's a bad game. Would I prefer a Call of Duty that kind of feels more like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Call of Duty Ghosts? Yes, I would much prefer that over anything over the last 4 years. Black Ops 4, I think, has a much longer road ahead of it than people realize. Black Ops 4 is not a perfect game. It is not the savior of Call of Duty, but it's also not the killer of it. In fact, the mere concept of a Call of Duty trying to be this many things and wear this many hats and do this many things new while maintaining the franchise's staples, it shows that the franchise at least is willing to respect itself while going new places. Not necessarily good or bad. We're not talking about good or bad. Your preference for the game is going to be your preference of the game, but at least it's trying to be a weird combination shooter with a bunch of conflicting philosophies. I'm not a fan of that, but at least it's doing that instead of just going, oh, this Call of Duty selling point is that you don't have a jetpack. It's like, fucking thanks, COD World War II. Never played a game like that before. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I mean, what about Black Ops 4's future? What about Call of Duty's future? What about Call of Duty's past? Should it be respected? Should it be erased? I personally want another Call of Duty that feels like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Ghosts had a baby. I think that'd be amazing. If they released a Modern Warfare 4 that is like that with a remastered Modern Warfare 2 on the side, oh, that'd be perfect. I will drop $100 on that. But it still is cool that Call of Duty's trying this hard to be wacky, and I kind of admire it for that. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.